Hey, Determined Destiny family, this is Coach Kevin coming back at you with this week's Determined Destiny video on teaching our young men how to sort out the things in their life so that they can be more determined and more successful in life. So I'm going to do something in this video that I rarely ever do. I'm finishing up my morning workout and it's bright and early and everything's just kind of getting going. But it hit me. You know, this is my birthday week. I'm getting ready to turn 49 years old this week. I know I don't look a bit over 52. Anyway, I'm going to share some things with you that in a way that I don't normally do. I'm going to bring you into my home and show you some things because as I was reflecting and using this morning time after my workout just to kind of meditate and think about some things, it really hit me as I was preparing for this next message that the things that are in my workout space, in my garage, is the things that I needed to use for this message today. So come on with me and let's check this out. So this right here is my little workout area. I got my elliptical, I got some weights and some things that I use to really get going in the morning. And that's not the piece that I want to emphasize on, but you've got to have those things in your life that you use to keep you going if you're going to be determined about your destiny. You got to have some things that really keep you going and motivated. But the piece that I really wanted to hone in on this morning was this right here. Now see, this right here is this little workstation that I have here. And as I was kind of thinking about this and reflecting on this message, what I came to is that this little workstation right here, there's a lot going on here. And I just kind of wanted to break this down as I talked to you this morning. I just wanted to really break this down and show you some things here. You know, in life, you're going to have some things that you need in your workspace. And so this right here is a tool that I wasn't real familiar with, but I remembered it back in middle school. I took wood shop, and this tool right here is designed to place something in there. You lock it in, and then you can do whatever you need to do with that. You know, sometimes in life, you're going to have some people or some things that you're not real sure what to do with them, but they can be really helpful for you once you learn how to use them appropriately and tap into them appropriately. When you have some big responsibilities in life, there's going to be some things and some people that you need to help you accomplish the things that you need to accomplish. You just have to know how to tap into them and use that resource appropriately. Of course, there's a power strip here. And in that power strip, there's room for you to get plugged in with others or to the sources that you need to be successful. And then there's a power tool here that's plugged in and it's got a battery attached to it and it's ready to be used at any point in time. It's ready to be used. I've got a LED light set here and I'm not real sure. And I just want to let you know, I'm not proud of this space right here, to be honest with you. It needs to be cleaned up. A lot like our lives, right? Some things that are there that really need to be cleaned up. But I got a LED light set here that I use for something, and it's just sitting there because I probably didn't use all the pieces or something like that. But it's light. And light is just sitting there waiting to be used if you know how to get it to the right place. I got a shelf here that I probably brought out of my girl's room or out of somebody's room and just sat here because sometimes there's some things that are useful and they can hold some things for you. But you just take them and you put them somewhere and they're not any good to you because they're just sitting around. And then I've got this little thing here, a funnel that I used and my dog got a hold of and chewed it all up. So now it's all tore up, but it's still kind of, I can use it, but it's been damaged. I had to cut this end off because he chewed up that end and made it unuseful, but I just cut that off and now it's still useful. But there's some pieces of our life that might get chewed up by some things, but you have to adjust and make it useful for you. I got some rags here. I'm gonna wipe my head here, it's still sweating. I got some rags here that I use because sometimes you just gotta clean up some mess. You just gotta have the things that you need to clean up mess in life. And this right here. So I'm gonna slow down on this. My mom passed away not a year ago. And this was in her room when she passed away, her TV. And so I keep this out here, not because it's memorable thing and it reminds me of her or anything like that, but just because I've got a piece of my life that hurts, that's just there, and it's just there. And because it's there, it reminds me of a painful point in my life. But the thing that I begin to think about with this is that I hold the remote to this thing and I can control this thing. I can turn it on. I can turn it off. I can clean this up and put it away. And that's what we can do with our hurts in our life. You can turn it on, you can turn it off, you can put it away so that you never see it. It just all depends on what you need to accomplish what it is you're trying to accomplish in life. Sometimes I might need it to be there to remind me of the great things that my mom did for me and did with me. And sometimes I may just need to put it away and not see it or turn it off and not use it because it's not useful for me. So just something to think about there. I've got some gloves here. Actually got 2 pairs of gloves here, serve 2 different purposes. This is for working and can be very useful to protect my hands. Some other tools here. There's some high dollar tools here as well. And you got to have some of those things. You got to have some things that are, a little pricey. You don't use them as much, but they're a little pricey. But they're there for you when you need them. You got to have a hammer in your life. You got to have that thing that just is going to drive the nail home in your life. Whatever that is, you've got to be able to identify that. Got a tool there that just needs to be plugged in, and then it's very useful. Can drill some things in a lot faster, a lot easier. I got a sprinkler here for watering. I got some other gloves here that are really about keeping my hands warm in times of cold. And so just taking a quick look here at these things and how they can relate to being determined about your destiny. I've got some remnants of, a golf tournament and used a pink ball. My mom had breast cancer. And so that was valuable to me at the time. And then I've got some things here like this thing. It just didn't work out. I was trying to use it for something and it didn't work out. And then it just ended up sitting there. And sometimes that's the way life is. Things you try, they don't work out and it just ends up sitting there. And this is what I think is probably the more valuable piece of what's out here. I've got lots of books here, just sitting here, collecting dust, a lot of them. But I've read through probably every single one of these, maybe not from cover to cover, but bits and pieces of them. And of course, my Bible is in there. And then Managing God's Money, because that's important to me. 7 Seasons of a Man's Life. And the encouragement book that you'll get through this. His needs, her needs. I need to understand my wife and the love there. I've got an old book by T.D. Jakes in there, Reposition Yourself. So and The Millionaire Makers is a wealth cycle investing book. And those books are important to me because that's what I use to fuel my passion and educate myself on things that I know that I need in order to accomplish my destiny. Got some nourishment here, some water. You got to have water to stay nourished so you're not, dehydrated and can't think and can't function like you need to. Got some old remnants of fun there. There used to be some fun going on in my life. I used to play a little golf, and there's remnants of that all around here. You got to have a toolkit, and there's got to be lots of things in your toolkit to accomplish your destiny. You got to be able to relate with people and know what tool you need in what situation. There used to be some beautiful flowers in here. There's some pieces of life where, things used to be beautiful for you. And they may not be as beautiful anymore, but that doesn't mean that they can't be anymore. And then I got just a bunch of bags there. Some things just got to get bagged up in your life, and they probably need to be thrown out. But at least putting them in a bag so that, you've got containment of them and they're not there bothering you all the time. That's just part of life. You got to do that. There's some old targets back there, some things that, I was probably shooting for at one point in time. And some of them you hit and some of them you use and some of them you just thought about. There was a goal that you wanted to accomplish, but you may or may not been able to do that. This whole thing probably could be cleaned off and look a whole lot better. And it would be reflective of cleaning up some clutter in my life. And that could be very helpful. But in the end, I feel like I may or may not clean it up because it may be helpful for me to just keep it like it is and understand that in accomplishing what I'm trying to accomplish in life and reaching my destiny, being determined about my destiny, I'm going to need some things there that helps me to stay locked in. So I want to encourage you guys, take a look around and figure out what it is we need to help our young men with in terms of being determined about their destiny, and help them take advantage of what's around them and understand what's around them and make it useful to them to accomplishing their destiny. I'm Coach Kevin. Check us out at determineddestiny.org. Hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Start putting up these videos a little bit more frequently as we move into the summer months, because I understand there's going to be a lot more free time on our young men's hands, and we've got to help them make the right decisions if they're going to accomplish their destiny in life. Have a great day. Take care. See you guys again soon.